as we get into round one, and we'll have to see what happens here. We do have Meow with that Kaya. We're used to seeing them play that, but I have not seen even close to Nerrex's Wushang in tournaments. So let's see how this goes going into round one. Right now it looks like Meow XD has a lot of platform control going over Nerrex. Nerrex is having a little bit more of a difficult time landing it, but they're getting these three-piece style combos, knocking Meow into the orange, doing very, very well. Silent recovery coming out of Nerrex. And now you see Nerrex with the spear trying to outspear Meow XDD, and you're able to outspace them. Now, can he outspear them?
Now, you said that Meow had a lot of stage control, but I'd say that Nerrex has a lot of sky control, because almost all of their hits so far have been coming in from the sky, have been aerial attacks. But right now, against an unarmed Meow, that'll be a good chance to get a grounded end light, as right now Meow has to try to rock with Bow for a little bit. Either waiting for Spear or Bow is just exactly what they needed in that first stock, was because they didn't have Bow to start. But right now, Nerrex just playing so incredulous with these gauntlets, and actually is able to claim stage control, and just over a minute in the game is able to be up orange 3 against white 1. And right now Meow also touching back down with Spear, and has to really try to find their way around Nerrex's gauntlets. These gauntlets are looking very, very intimidating right now, and it seems that they're always able to find the hit, but Meow is also able to find the read and is able to get the Ensig, and Nerrex is actually at a pretty comfortable stock lead right now, but still Meow is able to pick up the pace and try to bring it back, or at least that's what they're hoping. That's really the hope that they have to cling on, to be able to put the first one up on the board. Nerrex still just hitting some solid gauntlet combos, with maybe not the stage control, but definitely the sky control, as Meow is also starting to regain some stage control with these Kaya Sigs.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Nerrex is surprising me a lot. They're doing a lot of damage against Meow's playstyle. Those gauntlets are screwing them up, and I was very surprised to see this going into this game, because I thought Meow was going to have the upper advantage and then maybe have Nerrex come in towards the end and turn things around. But I mean, just showing their power in the beginning of the game. But we do see a silent downlay side air combo knockout coming out of Meow, knockout Nerrex's second stock. But Nerrex still on a very, very clean final stock right now. Meow's in the red of their own.
Meow also already has some reads coming out, and that download is going to be very helpful in that you can see that read was very, very close, and I don't think it's going to be that much longer if we see another one connecting. Nerrex also really needs to try to regain some stage control, or also find some reads of their own, as right now Meow is actually really starting to stay on top of them. Nerrex hasn't had that much stage control, but whatever stage control they had, they were able to do some fast work with it, and were able to get those first two stocks off. But Meow has had much more consistent control of the screen, but Nerrex having some pretty consistent control of that ground pound. That's going to let the Swooshong put the first one up on the board. Meow is striking maps, and it's seeing that we still don't really want that many platforms. The only platform map we have is Apocalypse, and we still go right back to Brawlhaven. And right now Meow's approach is gonna have to try to maybe not be too different from what we've seen from that last stock. They're hoping that is what they can play out for the this entire game. That adrenaline is something that they're really gonna need to try to channel, and they are channeling it quite nicely already. You can see that movement speed is already stepping up at the speed of sound, and is also without attacks soon to follow. Is currently Nerrex is actually at a pretty good spot to try to regain some control, get some hits of their own, as right now both players are still maybe just trying to get that last little bit of the download, just a little bit hesitant to try to connect some attacks, just to fear the whiff, the punish. And you can see the reads are starting to fall apart. Both players are adjusting, getting red less, and right now who's able to get the read first, or just able to get a better commit first and build up that lead, since once the game slows down, every hit matters so much more. And Nerrex is able to get some pretty nice unanswered hits now that Meow's reads have kind of fallen through and expired.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, I mean, Nerrex is able to go ahead and knock out Meow's first stock. I did not expect this style of gameplay coming out of Nerrex, man. He's improved so much over the past, 6 to 8 months that we've seen them in the community. But right now, I mean, Meow does go ahead and get that signature knockout and is making things even, but still, for Nerrex to keep up with Meow, who's what, seed number 7 in this event, it's absolutely huge when you're considering Nerrex is seed number 34.
So that definitely would be a pretty impressive upset if you're looking at the numbers, but another number that you also could be looking at is that these are both level 100 characters. But another thing you're also going to have to pay very close attention to is how Meow has Nerrex so close to the blast zone at the bottom of the screen. Luckily, they're able to find their way back and try to regain some stage control, but stage control has been almost entirely Meow's right now. Anything that Nerrex has been able to get are really just unanswered kind of hit and runs, little slight combos here and there, and responses to Meow's movements or attacks, those reactions. Meow so far is the one really trying to pursue those engagements and pursue contact and get those initial hits in, and it's really up to Nerrex to try to react to those and get some punishes and get some reacts. And right now, a side light recovery into Nair is going to be a pretty good way to do it. Nerrex is still able to get those combos, but Meow is able to get the deal recovery. That's going to send Nerrex down to last stock, as Meow is still looking pretty clean on that second stock. That's another very interesting about the way that Meow plays. You think that for the first game you're in the lead, you blink and the rest of the set is gone. Meow looks like a completely different person in the first few bits of the game compared to the rest of it. They just need a little bit of time to adjust their footing, get their grip, maybe get those downloads, just find out how they're supposed to work their way around you, and then it clicks. The game instantly speeds up to high octane, but Nerrex is actually going to try to put a stop to that, make sure that they still have control over the game speed, and is able to almost perfectly even out the damage. Meow is still just trying to get that damage lead, is actually starting to shift Nerrex into orange. And Nerrex really needs to try to find a way around it. Against Gauntlets, Nerrex has been pretty fantastic on Gauntlets so far. This is a pretty good way to do it. But against BOUT, this is proving some pretty big difficulties for them. As right now, a lot of the combos and a lot of the ways that Nerrex was able to approach in that last game is starting to expire a little bit with the way that Meow is starting to adjust their movement. So Meow is actually starting to get a pretty good understanding of the way that Nerrex is going to approach and move. And that is also a pretty fundamental part of the read. So right now, Meow is going to start really fishing for this KO. Just start digging it through the mud. Nerrex needs to try to put a stop to it, stay alive for a little bit longer until these hit and runs are able to build Meow up to KO color.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nerrex right now does have those gauntlets going against Meow. That was a nice little throw off, but Meow was able to go ahead and punish that weapon throw with that two-piece combo. And now Meow has a point to their name as they go into round 3. And they're just starting off very quickly right now.
Meow plays this game quickly. Meow plays this game super quickly.
Yeah, I guess, and so does Nerrex, and right now we're going into game 3. We have Meow still with the Kaya and Nerrex still with the Wushang, and like you said, they're both level 100, and that takes a lot of experience in Brawlhalla to really do that right now. I mean, for them to play that many games and get that many like levels of XP is absolutely insane, and that's max tier of a legend. So right now we're going into round 3. Meow's trying to really land some type of silent, what it looks like to be. Meow just holding that platform control, making sure that Nerrex does not come back and take that platform control from them. You can see Nerrex was trying to get it back a little bit, does get countered every once in a while, but so far, I mean, Nerrex is in the orange. Meow is using that platform control correctly, and I think right now Nerrex has to use those platforms to try to throw Meow off, because it's going to be very difficult to take that platform control while Meow's on that platform.
We do talk about how both these characters are maximum level, but right now they instantly shift into the map that has the maximum amount of platforms right now on Enigma with those 3 platforms, but they seem to not really be using them that much, as Meow is making full use of that there to bring Nerrex down to that last stock, showing off some soft platform mechanics. Maybe that's exactly why they picked this map, just to kind of flex some dash mechanics right there. Meow still also looking for that dare. Nerrex has actually made some pretty good placements with that D-Sig, and they were also trying to slide charge a little bit more. We can see more and more SIGs coming out from Nerrex. Nerrex has played an extremely heavy light attack game, but right now is starting to throw out a little bit more SIGs in hope of the damage building up a little bit quicker, and the attacks aren't hitting as much, so the damage is going to have to connect a lot faster. Right now, Meow is having a bit of a hard time. It seems like they still have stage control, but having a hard time connecting the hits a lot more. Maybe they just need a little bit more adjustment, as Nerrex is starting to play a little bit harder to predict, a little bit harder to guess. But still, Meow's able to punish that SIG, get the weapon throw, and that's going to put Meow in a pretty good spot, although pretty deep into that red, starting to be on the last few breaths of that stock. So Nerrex is going to look for the KO, just barely isn't able to find it in that recovery, but is probably going to be able to find it with spears. It ends up being the double D-light into recovery, as Nerrex is able to bring Meow down to that second stock. It's still a pretty nice lead for this Kaya, but Nerrex is still in this. On a very different map, this game could go very differently. We went from no platforms to all the platforms. So this could still go very differently.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Nerrex needs to really use all their 99% of their power in this round to really go ahead and bring this back, because Meow is a powerful player here. They know how to use bow. I think Nerrex is starting to read Meow pretty well, but they're just exchanging at this moment. You got to be very careful of the bow opportunity. Silent recovery comes into recovery. Oh! Nerrex? Okay! That's the way to fucking do it. And right now, it is one stock all. Can Nerrex do a reverse 3 against Meow?
That would be huge, but it's exactly the last thing that they need.
I mean, for Meow, yeah, I think this is one thing that Nerrex really needs. I mean, this would be huge, but I don't know. Meow's, without a weapon at the moment, does pick up bow. We do see a lot of exchanges from Meow onto Nerrex, but right now, Nerrex is trying to find some type of opening in Meow's playstyle. Goes off ledge because Meow does that weapon throw. It comes back up the platform. Nice little two-piece by Meow as well. Nice little neutral light coming in. Nerrex, without a weapon, gets the unarmed neutral light, picks up those gauntlets. And those gauntlets are what Meow is getting messed up by. Can Nerrex get down to it? It's going to be very close here.
Ooh.
Very, very nice job coming out of Meow, taking round 3 to their name. Do we see a character swap? I don't know. We'll have to see. No, we do not. We do not see one coming out of Nerrex. Do we see one coming out of Meow? Nope. They're going to stay on the same ones, and we're going into round 4 on Demon Island. Ooh, okay.
So definitely no character swaps, but the way that they're picking the maps is also pretty interesting. Nerrex has some very, very impressive survivability, and we're gonna have to see that live up to its name even more to be able to last against Meow on Demon Island, as both these players are on Demon Time right now, so this is a very, very fitting place for both of them to feel. Right now, Meow able to try to get some hits. Some of the reads are not coming through, but it ends up being holding the D-Sig that gives Meow an extra hit and able to space Nerrex a little bit farther away from them. And this D-Sig that comes out so quickly is doing Meow a wonder to be able to try to get Nerrex into KO color while Meow is barely even touched. Nerrex is actually going to put a very, very good change to that, and is also starting to bring Meow closer to KO color, as we have orange versus soon to be red. There we go, orange versus red right in front of us. Nerrex with some survivability and combos that we've seen come out from them. This is still very doable, but Meow is so far coming out on top, really just with the stage control. This bow has so much momentum, and they know how to use it to the fullest extent, but Nerrex knows how to use that double D-light Sarah coming off of the read to the full extent, is also able to hit the ground pound. Nerrex is able to hit some phenomenal combos, but Meow is also just barely able to snipe that N-Sig and chooses to still opt in for Spear, that D-Sig, after all the times Meow's hit that D-Sig, and once again, I do not blame them for it. Meow is trying to defend this weapon spawn with their life and trying to make sure that Nerrex pays for it with theirs. But however, that weapon spawn is able to go over Meow's head, and Nerrex is able to grab it for their own with gauntlets against this bow. It's very hard to tell how they're going to plan the weapon matchups and how they think what weapon is going to be best against what weapon for the opponent. But right now, Nerrex really needs to try to bring this first stock off from Meow. And with all the SIGs that Meow is throwing out, it's going to be very hard to do, but not impossible, as Nerrex is able to snag that out. we've seen some very impressive survivability. They're trying to make sure that any of their stocks lasts a bit longer from Nerrex, and they're going to really need to channel that and make sure that they're able to really hyper focus and get that second stock down to KO color, but that's not before Meow is able to bring Nerrex down to last stock. This is starting to look a little scary for them, but you never know. This could be exactly where things turn around. I said I'm expecting some plot twists, so you never know where they're going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now, I mean, we definitely saw last round where Nerrex was able to remove 2 stocks in an instant. And that's one thing that Nerrex needs to do right now if they can. I know the ceiling's not working out for them at the moment, but we need to see some type of side or ground pound style knockouts onto Meow. Meow right now, I think, chose this map for that reason, realizing that Nerrex knocks it on the ceiling a lot, but Meow coming in with a phenomenal signature there onto Nerrex. We see Meow picking up that, falling unarmed side air and picks up the bow. Silent comes in. Nerrex trying to pick up that weapon. Meow with a counter weapon throw, and Nerrex is trying to get that weapon so much that Meow was able to read them. And Meow was trying to use that weapon for bait, and they used it very, very well. And they won that set 3-1.